Minecraft fans, it's Collins. It's a creeper world. The better you are at vanilla, the better you are with all the mods. Buenos dias, Minecraft fans, it's Collins, and we're just sitting on the deck, relaxing, checking out the view. Yeah. There's a boat underneath the half slabs, and when I sit in the boat, I was hoping it would make me look like I'm sitting above the half slabs, but it doesn't work. So, let's take a look and see what... Oh, I can't get around the boat. Okay. Let's take a look and see what we did. So, in an earlier episode, I had a little section carved out here, and I was going to mark that off as a mob grinder. And I actually found a section over here, and this is what I have marked off. So, I talked about doing a mob grinder in the past, and basically the way I want to do it, I want to build it all underground so I don't see the ugly contraption, but it just works. Or you'll see watch the X and the Z, at the end there's a C, which is for chunks. You'll see this is in between 4 chunks. So if you build your mob grinder in the middle of 4 chunks, because the mob spawning checks each chunk, so since my mob grinder is sitting in 4 chunks, it's more likely that stuff will spawn in it. So let's do that. Let's take a look and see what we got down here. Whoa! Okay. And I realize this derpy thing needs to be moved. Originally, the ceiling was... I need to lower the ceiling or something. I need to do something in here. I need to get rid of these water path things. They're ugly, and someone left a comment about it, and I totally agree. And I've been doing this too. I've been starting to kick out this wall a little bit. I need to bump this wall back, which means I have to move that giant staircase, and I need to bump this wall back, and there isn't anything back there. You saw there's a little tiny piece section of abandoned mine shaft, and I got it walled off with the derpy dirt wall. But there's nothing back along this wall, so I can do that. And I think when I go back, I'll lean the ceiling down and then arch the ceiling up. Maybe put stairs or half slabs or something over the end portal. So originally I built this. If you haven't caught all the earlier episodes, I got rid of the silverfish spawner. Not really that I wanted to destroy spawners, but if I need silverfish, we can find another stronghold. But I wanted an end portal room without a big bulky silverfish spawner in it, so we got rid of the silverfish spawner. We raised the floor up in here, and now we got height clearance issues, because now that I put this little half slabs in front of the end portal, and I wanted to keep a way to not accidentally walk through it, I need to make this room bigger so I don't accidentally walk through the end portal. But we'll get to that. Let's see. I'll throw regular bricks in here now. We can change it up later. So yeah, there's my wall moved back, and then I'll maybe leave it at this height, or maybe 3 high. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, 3 high would be good, and then 4 high above the portal room. And then I got this thing over here. Well, I got a bunch of stuff that I was doing. So I started a bunch of stuff, and I realized that I would probably just finish it all up. Show everybody what we're doing. So the one thing I needed to do after I lowered the floor in here, I needed to move the portal down. So I mined all the obsidian out, because that's slow and boring. And I think we'll just fill that in so that bats or something don't spawn in there. So boom, this is lowered now. Maybe I'll move the sign too. And because of the way I set up my nether portals, this should still link back up to the one in the nether, and I didn't destroy that one, so it should still be there. Links up just fine. Hello, zombie pigman. We're gonna have to go to the end, I think. There was a zombie pigman walking around the end portal room, and I think he warped into the end. So I set up a new portal in my hub. This one goes over to the dual zombie grinders. I spent a lot of time working on this one. It's very boring, and I gotta move this because this was the ideal location for it, but I gotta redecorate the room. And then these stone bricks represent the section of area, and on this glass too, where I can stand where both zombie spawners are active. So I may push this wall towards me a little bit and get rid of this row of crops, and I gotta move the enchanting table. Yeah. And I redesigned this a little bit, which meant climbing back up to the sea floor and running new stuff. I wasted a lot of glass. I feel really bad. I hate wasting all the glass, but because in my last LP world I made a sand generator, and you can't do that anymore. That little glitch has been fixed. But I like the sand generator because you don't have to like destroy some desert. But there's a big desert near the hunting blind, and we don't use much of it, so maybe we'll do that. And I got these guys set up. This is the pathing that worked best for me. I have them coming into a one wide water stream, and they come in at different levels. So zombies from one come in at a lower level, they come up to that one wide path, and then these ones from this one come up at a higher level. You can see there's one below and one above, and that seemed to be the best way to keep them from clogging up the system. So now they flow really nicely. There's a bunch of zombies in here all the time. It fills up really fast. And I did a few more enchants. Brought some books over from the other one. Looting, sharpness, silk touch. Oh, I do have a fortune 2. So I lost my fortune 2 pick, and I should have recorded that. That was kind of crazy. I found another section of abandoned mineshaft. Was playing around. Found actually two of the cave spider spawners. 2 more. They're not close enough together to be anything special, but found 2. Was disabling one and completely ignoring the dark cave above me. Creeper came down, blew me up. Couldn't find my way back. Got most of my stuff, but watched my 2 picks that I had despawn. One was just an iron pick though, so not a big deal. So let's go back through here. So yeah, now I got easy access. Rather than doing the parkour through the abandoned mineshaft, I can get right over to the dual zombie grinder. This thing still needs to be moved down, and I need to hide the redstone again. Yeah. I don't need more pumpkins. So yeah, that chunk that I marked out at the top, I came down here, and I haven't mined the redstone yet because I want to get a fortune pick, and I want to build a nice diamond one. So I have a room down here, and it's 1.5, so we got hoppers. Lots of hoppers. What's in here? So, and I've been building up there. So what it is there's like about a 25 block drop up the top here. There's actually a 2x2 hole, but this is a 4x4 wide. So, because I have spiders spawning in up there, and then you have to, if spiders can cling to the wall, so that's why I pushed the wall back from 2x2 to 4x4. So the spiders fall down, they can't cling to the wall, and basically everything lands in this hopper area, and it all dies. And the hoppers pick up and put stuff in the different chests. And got a few things in here. So I was building expanding it. So there's one floor that's active, and then I was working on the second floor and the third floor and stuff. So all my cobblestone was falling down, and I was like, I'm going to lose that. Oh, no, I'm not. It's going to land in the hoppers. So I got a little bit of stuff. I built it with the spiders being able to spawn, because I wanted the spiders. There's more stuff that I need to grab with. There's some redstone down there too when I get a fortune pick. But I build it with spiders allowed to spawn in there because I need the spider string. So as you saw, spider falls, boom, spider string lands in the hopper, goes into the chest, done. The 1.5 AFK stream. And then I got this little sissy bar thing here, door, gate out of glass, just because if mobs spawn with armor on and they fall, sometimes they don't die. So I didn't want mobs running around up in my portal room up there, so I just left a little sissy bar here. A little bit of redstone, yeah. And we can go up and take a look at that. So here we are at the bottom of my mob farm, and I basically just out the side and ran up some ladders, and then I put glass here because mobs don't spawn on glass, so I don't have to have really bright light here to prevent mob spawning in this little area, but I can go through the gate here. And up above is the first layer of pads, And you can see there's a whole bunch of pads in one giant water stream. And you can see the 2x2 drop hole over there. Wow, this is really hard to get through. And then I just put something up so I can access this, and then I can go up to this layer, which I walled off with dirt. Because mobs can spawn in there. And hey, look, there's no mobs. What the heck? Okay, I'm not on peaceful. Probably because I haven't been close. But it's kind of nice. This is really close to the area that I've been spending a lot of time in, so hopefully I'm close enough for mobs to spawn. And then I've been cutting out sections for the second level. And this whole, where this 2 rows of dirt are, this is all going to be empty. And my design doesn't have, you don't have to have water streams at every level. I basically just have pads all over and water streams at the bottom. I was putting signs in a design that I had before on the edges to convince the mobs to walk off, but it doesn't seem to work that great. So I just left signs off of these, and that means I don't have to worry about, you know, all the extra wood. But what ends up happening in the grinder is like there'll be mobs spawn, multiple mobs spawn on the little pads, and one just pushes the other one into the water stream, and then they all go down. Here's a good pad. So the pad's 3x3. That's not my idea to do 3x3 pads. That's an Etho design. Because the guy invents so much stuff. I basically just been digging these up. So I've been digging this edge here because there's going to be no pads all the way up as high as I can dig. And I ran into some gravel on the other side, which is why I covered this back up, because I was leaving it open as I was building these. But it's going to be 3x3 pad. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 in that direction. Giant square. Mobs spawn on the pad. They push each other off, fall in the water stream. And then they land downstairs where the hoppers are, and then I collect all the drops. You can see I can light up one layer and while I work on the next one. And I just covered this up with dirt because the gravel has fallen and because the light was getting through downstairs. But this thing works pretty cool, so that'll get me spider string. And it actually sits in, so I mentioned it sits in 4 chunks. So the middle of the room is 4 chunks. But it actually sits in 2 slime chunks. So I moved it over to that location because there's dual slime chunks. And I don't know, because this is only too tall, I don't know if the small slimes will still spawn in there. I haven't seen any slime balls come through yet. But I know that the slimes, like the medium and small slimes, will definitely come through, and the way their pathing works, if they spawn on a pad, they'll go right off because they just move in one direction. So hopefully I get some slime balls out of that. It's kind of tricky because this is, you have to have a drop to kill them all. And this is Y38, so this is pretty much the top because slime spawn below Y40. So this pad and the one below it that's active are the only ones that are going to have slimes on them, but if it works, it'll work. And I think actually because of the water streams, I may get the octopuses will spawn in the water streams, and if they do, eventually they get stuck and die, and their drops fall through the same hole. I'm hoping that'll happen. I don't think there's anything spawning here because I'm this too close to it. But it's fairly close to the main base section of the stronghold, so I figure I'm derping around doing stuff. And in the stronghold, stuff will spawn. No slime balls? Come on. No slime balls? I think it's trippy when you're in here checking this stuff out because like I was sitting here and like a creeper fell down and died. And I heard like the hissing noise and the creeper sound, and I literally physically jumped out of my seat in my computer chair. It was very freaky. I was like, ah! But I should be close enough when I'm working like in here and working upstairs that mobs will spawn in that system. And there aren't a whole lot of, well, there's actually quite a bit of caves lit up in this area. So the more caves that's lit up in the area, the more those things will spawn. And of course I don't have a whole lot of the surface lit up, so they won't spawn as well at night. But that basically, all that stuff underground for the mob thing sits at these coordinates. And I was worried that it was going to push into my portal room, but then I realized with the drop zone I don't need a big huge collection area at the bottom, so it's not as big as the pads, because I think the spawning area is 19 wide by 19 long, which goes out pretty far, but I don't have to, you know, there's a 25 block drop to get down to the level of the portal room, so there's just a drop point, which is only, you know, this 8 by 8, so it's not a big deal. And the other thing I did last episode, we were looking at shopping list. So I know I need 64 blocks of iron, because one block makes 9 iron ingots. 69 blocks I think I need. And then I counted the redstone, and I counted it before, without thinking about the redstone update. So I actually need stacks of redstone. So I need 7 stacks of actual redstone, and that comes out to about 36 blocks of redstone. So I thought I had 7 blocks. I was good. I definitely don't have enough redstone to build my Enderman farm, so that'll be something I'll do down the road. And I got enough diamonds to build tools, but I've been waiting for enchants. And armor, and you know, I made the boots last episode. What happened to my gold helmet? Oh, my gold helmet broke because it has low durability, or I lost it in the, I don't know. Those cave spiders were over here. Oh, now you can see my boat. That's weird. Before it was just right underneath the half slabs. So this is another access tunnel that I built to get down into lower levels, and as you can see it goes down, and there's a wall here because this is the edge of my grinder. Wow, that actually sits really high. Yeah. So I don't know how many layers I'm going to have of that, but I have one with a couple layers and it works really good, so I don't think I need massive layers going all the way up. And there's also issue with mob grinders if you build stuff. If you have anything built in a chunk above Y127, above the old build limit, the like the spawning just freaks out and it doesn't work right. So that's why another reason why I want to keep this all below the surface. But the mob grinder is just going to sit there and do its thing, and stuff goes in the hopper, and I don't have to worry about it. I just go collect my drops. Then we got trees. Let's see what else we got going on. Here we go. We got the cheaty X-ray machine. Still works in 1.5. But it's legit. You can do it in vanilla Minecraft without any mods or add-ons. So we got cheaty X-ray. And you can see my mob grinder sits right there, and I don't know if we're quite close enough to get anything to spawn. And then below it is the end portal room edge, I think. Yeah, that's one edge of the end portal room down there. And you can see the water path and the area that I'm working on, and you can kind of see the one below it. And somewhere over here by this crafting table is where I found more cave spiders. And there's still unlit caves. There's a lot of darkness in this area too. I got a lot of stuff lit up though. I was lighting up a bunch more stuff, and for some reason I didn't think to record it all. That would have been cool footage. The cave spider thing was trippy. But lots of open caves, lots of abandoned mine shafts, lots of stuff to explore around here. Lots of stuff already lit up. I'm pulling ores out of everything. I didn't get the ores down there though. And mob system. Hopefully get enough stuff lit up, that starts working really good. And there was lava over here in a little pool. And I used because I still have my diamond pick. I wasn't carrying it with me when I died, so it's not a big deal. So I used my diamond pick to pull out the rest of the obsidian out of here, and I pulled some obsidian out of my my branch mine at the bottom, and that's what I used for because I didn't have enough obsidian left over to still have like an emergency supply in case I need to build a portal somewhere, and then also have enough to build the one going to the zombie spawner. Because the way I do my portals, I build one in the overworld now. Now that I have one set up at the right coordinates, I build the new one in the overworld where I want to place it, and then I don't go through it. I actually go through an existing portal, go into the nether, find out where the corresponding coordinates are, and then place the portal there. That way it's exactly in the spot I want it to be at. You can see I dyed a couple sheep black, so I can do black wool. I'm going to figure out the other colors if I want to do a little Enderman face. My little boat comes through. Pops up sometimes. I don't know, I just did that today. And over here is, you can see this thing here sticking out of the water, or underneath the water. That's the top of the dual zombies. And there's a whole bunch of areas. I was actually just running around the ocean floor. And if you're sitting on the ocean floor, you can actually either find a too high wall or build one. If we go down here, you'll see my breath, little bubbles going down, and then you just place a torch and your breath renews. So I was running around doing that underwater and covering up some of the leaks into the abandoned mine shaft. Because most of the stuff that's underground here, the kind of heads off in this direction, all the abandoned mine shaft stuff. And that's where those zombie spawners are. So this is weird. I was stealing stuff from the... Down equals lights off. I was stealing the redstone from the grinders the other day, and apparently I was knocking out walls and knocked the switches out. So when that torch is lit, that's off. Yeah, okay. Now the lights are off. So somehow I lost my levers. I'll just leave the lights on. I don't like the single zombie spawner. But we're over here at the spawners. This is where the dual skeletons are. And if you haven't seen my earlier videos... Where's my hopper? That's weird. My hopper's gone. And my dropper! I wonder if that's something in the redstone update. Oh, great. I gotta make a new hopper. See, I did the ghetto repeaters to steal some redstone out of here. This thing still actually works really good, though. If you haven't seen it in the previous episodes, there's a zombie, or a skeleton spawner over there that I found, and it was pretty close to the zombie spawner, so I just set up a room and set up both spawners. And then after I carved out the entire skeleton spawner, I realized there was a second skeleton spawner right here, so I set up dual. I have 2 skeleton spawners, and I have tons of arrows. Is this still full of arrows? Yeah, it's full of arrows and bones. And more arrows and bones that I don't really need, because right now I'm rocking the infinity bow. But this is where I also have a branch mine. So I mentioned before my branch mine, which is in Extreme Hills, because that's where emeralds are. And I found a slime chunk in here. I'll link to, there's a website that has a slime finder app, and you put in your world seed, and it tells you, and you can put in coordinates too, and it'll tell you where there are slime chunks. And so this is supposed to be a slime chunk, and I dug it out, and below here is some obsidian and redstone, and I'm just going to bring more pumpkins. That's why that's open. So I grabbed some more obsidian from over here, and then there's some redstone, but I still don't have a fortune pick, so I didn't grab it. And this is supposed to be a slime chunk, but I haven't had any dang slimes in here at all. So with slimes, you can light the room up and slimes will still spawn in a slime chunk, which is why this has lit up. And I put jack-o'-lanterns in the floor because jack-o'-lanterns are a solid block, and mobs can still spawn on solid blocks. And this is pretty much the same design that I did in my last world, and it worked really well. And this one doesn't do anything at all, and I don't know why. But anyways, working on this slime thing here, and then I'm gonna see if the grinder with the droppers actually gets gets the slimes in it, because then I won't need to do the slime farm thing here. But we do have a slime farm, and there was actually a couple of emeralds in here, because again we're in Extreme Hills, and so I find emeralds, and I'm down pretty low to the ground. I haven't got any diamonds recently out of here. But yeah, I still need slime balls, so we're gonna have to spend some time here doing something. Either get one of these slime chunks working or do something else. I don't want to see you. Stay away from me, creeper. He's gonna blow up my wall, isn't he? Gunpowder? Where's my gunpowder? No gunpowder. So I wanted to turn on another layer in the farm over here. Let's do that. Alright, so we got little walkways, we got everything set up. Now we just take out torches and finish pulling everything off. There we go. So this is all pretty much done. Take out my pathway in, and I'm just going to fill this in with dirt. And you can see there's a lot of material that kind of landed. Some of the material landed on the ground, but most of the material that lands in the water stream will land in the hoppers downstairs. So that's all done, and then I wall that up, and we got the next layer we can work on.
So guys, that's my my mob farm, my mob system. I'll set some more of that up off camera and we'll see the results. I was checking it a second ago and there's slime balls in it, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I've been looking up here on the roof of the nether. So I mentioned before I kind of wanted to do this abandoned mineshaft theme, and these are the little abandoned mineshaft block thingies that the little bridge archways that they do in the abandoned mineshafts. And I was thinking maybe I could do something like that in the nether, just because it's all mostly going to be minecart tracks that I have here. So I was thinking maybe possibly trying it out in netherrack here, because you can make the netherrack fences. They're one of the few blocks that you can make the fences that match the actual brick. So that would work. Or I could do the wood thing too, and it doesn't have to exactly be like it, so I could lift this up. I would just pull these blocks out and maybe have it sitting a little bit higher. Just some ideas I was trying to come up with. So hopefully you guys like the little mob farm we got going on. We'll be able to get slime balls and spider string out of that, and eventually we'll be able to go to the end and do the ender bowl. In the meantime, I'm just going to throw some of these little wooden blocks along the way, see which ones catch fire, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks everyone who likes and subscribes.